Greetings. Have a lot to cover today. I'm going to try to do this without blinking a ton and without using my sunglasses. So let's cover a few things. One of the things, it's just been crazy. It's like there's just so much crap out there. You cannot even keep up with it. And I had mentioned a couple people that I get news from or news items from that I think are very reliable. Um, and one of those I mentioned was Heather Cox Richardson. Another one I didn't mention is Tyler Cohen. Brian Tyler Cohen. These people are all on YouTube. And Brian Tyler Cohen sometimes overlaps with Glenn Kirshner. Somebody else that I really like is Crystal Kyle and Friends. That's K, Crystal with a K and Kyle with a K. And by the way, on the last video, I said something about I was trashing Adam Schiff. And I didn't mean to be trashing Adam Schiff. I meant to be trashing Chuck Schumer. What a moron. And speaking of moron, I was talking to somebody today, a dear friend. This says they just love the way I always talk about people being morons and stuff. But it's like, I think that was before Trump actually took office, and probably talking especially about the people that voted for him. I am so far beyond that. As my Guy Fawkes mask will indicate, if you haven't seen the movie V for Vendetta, it is really cool. What were some of the things that I wanted to bring up? Oh, yeah, Elon Musk truck sales for the Tesla truck were cut in half from what they were a year ago at this time. And they weren't even good then. I don't generally delight in the misfortune of others, but I delight in the misfortune of him. I will delight in any misfortune of Trump, and Stephen Miller. I mean, I couldn't be happier to see bad things happen to him. And by the way, this production quality, I'm doing these on a Kindle. That and my phone are all I've got. And with a Kindle, you cannot add an auxiliary mic. But I may wind up going to my phone, and I can tell right now, seeing how much I'm blinking, I've got to go back to the sunglasses, because this is just, I mean, if I can see it, you can see it, and it's got to be driving you crazy because it's driving me crazy. I was talking to somebody yesterday who I happen to know for a fact was a big Trump supporter. Not maybe so much now, because she said she wrote him a letter, and that's like, yeah, she probably wasn't happy about something. But I was talking about Musk, and she said, yeah, but he donated those millions of dollars to the people in Texas and the flood victims. And as usual, we got to check our facts, because I thought, wow, if he did, I'll give him some props for that. However, it doesn't take back a damn thing I said about him, or the fact that I really want to see bad things happen to him. He deserves it, that fascist a-hole. But it's not true. I mean, it's like you fact check that on like Snopes.com and stuff, and it's just bullshit. He never did that. I don't know. I don't understand people's willingness to believe in stuff. Speaking of Heather Cox Richardson and fact checking, I get a feed from her that's written. I see a lot of her videos on YouTube and stuff, but the written feed on YouTube actually lists all these sources that she's quoting from. I mean, legitimate news sources. I mean, it reminds me of what you had to cite, their citations, just like on a paper in school, which I like that sort of thing. It's like, I'm impressed with that. I'm looking at, Oh, 91%. I was looking at some notes I made. 91% of white evangelical Christians are still in favor of the job that Trump is doing. That's actually, I find very scary because I really don't want to live in that kind of a nation, a country. I mean, I feel like some days, and I'm glad you guys are here because some days I feel like I'm just treading water, fighting a losing battle, and I find this all really, really, really disturbing. I mean, scary ass, like getting a panic attack before I even get out of bed in the morning, scary. And I'm not being hyperbolic. Look at me. I'm old. I've been around. Shit changes. Shit happens. I knew people like that were just so seriously depressed. And I'm not panning on them for this when Trump got elected the first time. And I was like, whatever happens, I'm willing to check it out, give it a shot. It was really bad, but it's a whole different thing now. I mean, and it was obvious it was going to, once we had January 6th, it was obvious any power that he got was going to be extremely dangerous. Not just dangerous, but extremely dangerous. So I don't know where I'm going with that crap, but hang in there. Like, let's be a network for each other. I can't talk about this crap with anybody else. I really can't. It's like you guys are my diary, because I mean, I find this shit so disturbing. I mean, so disturbing. And my main purpose of doing this, I'm trying not to look at the doom and gloom of it, but I hope. I don't have kids. I don't have any kind of legacy. And it was never important to me to leave a legacy. But if anybody in future generations finds this and it's like, know that there was one old fat fart that didn't sit around watching Fox believing all that dribble that they spouted. And that's another weird thing about Fox. Rupert Murdoch owns Fox, and he also owns the Wall Street Journal. And Wall Street Journal was the one who put out that birthday card that Trump drew for Epstein, where his signature was the pubic hair of the naked woman. And so, of course, now Trump is suing Rupert Murdoch, and his team is pushing to get Rupert Murdoch deposed, getting a deposition from him, because immediately they want to rush that. Trump's team always drags everything out to make other people spend their money when he sues them, so that they'll give up and win and cave in. And it's worked for a lot of gutless places. Paramount TV, pardon me, CBS, like a lot of those. But I mean, there's no love lost for Rupert Murdoch here, but his thing about getting him deposed is because he's 94 years old and he wants a deposition from him before he dies. It's like, you people deserve each other. That's all I can say. My senator, one of my senators, one of them's a lame duck, Gary Peters from Michigan, and Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan. She's just a butthead. It's like every now and then she'll say something that's okay, but usually it's like, well, we don't have any power. What are we supposed to do? And it's like, bitch, I'm trying not to swear on here too much. It's like, bitch, honestly, you never should have run for the office if you weren't really willing to work for the people of this country. That's all I can say. And when I mentioned Crystal Kyle and Friends, she had an interview with Crystal, and I'm not sure if Crystal's last name is Ball, like Crystal Ball. She had an interview with Crystal Ball and some other guy, Alyssa Slotkin did, and she pulled some of that. what can I? And Crystal just, she ain't playing. She put her in her place. I call Alyssa Slatkin a lot on the phone, and I do all my, I send my petitions in and send letters every day. And, one of the joyous things of being old and retired, one of the things that I get the biggest damn kick out of is in my district, my congresswoman's name is Lisa McLean. She's like a big Trump supporter and doesn't give a shit about anything that has to do with real people. But when there's a form that you have to fill out in order to write an electronic letter to these people, they all have a drop down where you have to put in your title, like Mr., Mrs., Ms., whatever. And Lisa McLean, and this, I just get such a kick out of this. It drops down and it goes into different titles like doctor, and there was one for admiral. So every time I write her, I'm Admiral Teresa Rogerson. And I'm like, cool. Of course, she never sends me back anything, and when she does, it's always Miss. It's like, how do you know I'm not an admiral, But that's my new title, Admiral, So everybody salute. I'll have some more factual stuff next time. I just wanted to get something out because I haven't done anything in a while. Oh my gosh, I put my little index card. Oh, I see where the camera is. Never mind. I'm pulling the old lady thing here. And I will get I'll get the production quality better and bring out some new things. And by the way, this thing is not because like I had cancer or anything. Says about the type of person I am. About 6 years ago, I got disgusted with it and bought a shaver and just, clippers and just do my hair down. It's like I've never had great hair. Of course, it didn't get any better as I got older. And it was, too thin to be able to dye it. And it's like, screw it, I can do better with a head wrap than my hair ever looked. So that's what that deal is. And I know I didn't speak too much politics. It's like, I will. I think I'll do a development on a couple specific issues next time, and as opposed to just rambling and touching on a bunch of things. It's exhausting. It is emotionally draining and totally exhausting. And I hope that we can build a community here and at least help each other to get through this and see some hope and feel that there's something that we can do together and that we're not in it alone. And even though there are people in my life that I love, I care about, yada, yada, and that are left or definitely anti-Trump or left leaning, it's like, I just can't talk about it because I'm sure I get hyperbolic about it and become, like, it's like if I started it and somebody else jumped in, we could probably go on and doom and gloom it all night on every subject. So I guess that's probably a good thing that they don't let me go on like that. So until next time, and I promise I will, Scouts Honor, whatever. Scouts Honor, I think that's how you do it. And with those, there we go. I will develop some other ideas on some specific things that are going on now. Thanks for tuning in. It will get better. It will be more concrete. It'll be something you'll even go, hey, have you seen that crazy old lady named Lefty Lucy with the Guy Fawkes mask? You got to check her out. So until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself.